Sean aka Chicken Fillets here. Now, if you follow IGN, you'll notice that pretty much all of their games, when they review them, get 7 out of 10. And to be honest, it is a bit of a meme when it comes to IGN. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no issues with IGN, although a lot of people do. But I thought it'd be quite funny to have a look at some of these 7 out of 10 JRPGs. So yes, with this all in mind, let's have a look at 10 of the best 7 out of 10 JRPGs. Man, that took a lot to get out. Now, before we get cracking on, if you like JRPGs 7 out of 10 for some reason, and a wee Scottish guy talking about it, well, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, without further ado, let's have a look at some 7 out of 10s.
Atelier Seven and Logi, and I've probably pronounced that wrong, but hey ho, let's keep going. Now, this JRPG was originally released on the PlayStation 3 back in 2013. The game received further ports for the PlayStation 4, PS Vita, Nintendo Switch and PC. Now, in this JRPG we follow 2 protagonists known as Eska and Logi. Now, with them being 2 protagonists in this game, you are able to choose between the 2 protagonists and you will play 2 slightly differing stories. And with any Atelier game, you can expect turn-based combat and crafting mechanics out the wazoo. So yes, this JRPG received the IGN 7 out of 10. IGN have stated in their review that with tons of things to do, things to make and areas to explore, Atelier Seven and Logi is a nice fusion of alchemy, adventure and tactics. It doesn't offer a rich story or complex characters, but it does include hours of crafting fun, fast turn-based combat and engaging time management. Now, I've mentioned on this channel before that I am not great at Atelier games. I think they are cracking titles. I've tried the likes of Atelier Sophie and Atelier Ryza, and I can totally understand why this got a 7 out of 10, but the real question is, well, did it deserve that 7 out of 10? You know what to do, leave a comment down below. Star Ocean: The Divine Force, the 6th installment in the Star Ocean series. The game was released on PlayStation 4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series and the PC. Now, in this Star Ocean title we follow 2 protagonists known as Raymond and Letitia. Star Ocean Divine Force also has the return of the dual protagonist system, so you will be able to choose between which main character you want to play as, and you'll see the story play out in their perspective. The game has fast action-based combat, and yes, it has large areas for you to explore. So yes, this is another JRPG which received the fateful 7 out of 10 from IGN. Now, having a look at their verdict and their summary, there's mentions of the limitations with the graphics and also the user interface. Now, this is a title where I can agree why it got the 7 out of 10 moniker, but there is a lot of things that this game does actually do right. I think what throws a lot of players off with this game is the graphical style. I mean, it's not the prettiest of looking games. I think this game would have benefited from maybe cel-shaded graphics on the characters. I don't know, they just look weird, don't they? But you know what, I have played Star Ocean: The Divine Force, and what I did play of it, man, I was really enjoying it, and I've only heard great things from other players. Dragon Quest Treasures, the spin-off of the Dragon Quest series, which was released on Nintendo Switch and the PC. Now, in this title we follow Eric from Dragon Quest XI and his sister Mia, who have been transported to the mysterious island of Draconia. Now, in this charming spin-off you'll be hunting for treasure, monster capturing, and there's a bit of base building in here as well. So yes, 7 out of 10 was awarded for Dragon Quest Treasures. Now, having a brief look at the verdict section on this review, Well, there has been some issues taken up with the likes of the story and the combat mechanics. It has stated though that it is a very charming and relaxing game also. Now this title is currently sat in my backlog and I picked this up really cheap. Now in the UK you'll usually find Dragon Quest Treasures brand new pretty cheap. I remember picking this up for about £15 brand new, so you can kind of tell how a game is perceived by the price it comes out, even when it's new. But you know what, with Dragon Quest, you know what you're going to get yourself into. It's always a charming, fun time with these games, even in the spin-offs. But if you have played this game, you know what to do. Leave a comment. Soul Hackers 2, the Atlas JRPG, which was released on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and for PC. Now in this JRPG we follow our protagonist Ringo, who is out to save the world from impending doom. Now with this being an Atlas game, you can expect turn-based combat. So yes, another 7 out of 10 from IGN, which I thought this was quite a surprising one considering it's a Atlas JRPG, because these games usually score quite well. But now in the verdict, it's really saying that there's a disappointing lack of creativity in the battle systems and a fairly shallow overarching story. It does, however, praise the dungeons and the characters in this game. Now with Soul Hackers 2, this game is currently on my wish list. I really want to play this. This is an Atlas JRPG, so I know for a fact that an Atlas JRPG will always be good fun. It ticks all the boxes for me. I love cel-shaded graphics games and it has a deep story from what I understand. I've also seen loads of praise about this game online from other content creators, so I find this 7 out of 10 to be a bit of a tough pill to swallow. Hey ho, when I do finally play this game, I'll be able to make a better judgment call with this. Dragon Quest VI Realms of Revelation. Now this game was originally released back in 1995 on the Super Famicom in Japan. However, it later got a remake on the Nintendo DS and it's also available weirdly on mobile phones. Now in standard Dragon Quest fare, yes, our hero is out to defeat another demon lord. However, in this game you'll be travelling between the dream world and the real world. The game has the classic turn-based combat and it also has a job system behind it. Now with this one, this had quite a funny verdict on IGN, so let's read it here. So it says, Dragon Quest VI will appeal to a very limited demographic of gamers. Okay, while Dragon Quest VI's archaic nature is exactly what hardcore Dragon Quest fans and some JRPG fans crave, it will turn just about everyone else off. Well, I mean, we're JRPG fans, we like this. To be fair, the rest of this verdict is kind of just slating it. It's a bit weird, but hey ho. Now this Dragon Quest game is in my wish list. Now it is quite expensive to buy this on the Nintendo DS, but I hope to purchase this at some point. Now what kind of throws me off with this 7 out of 10 is, well, it's a Dragon Quest game. Dragon Quest games usually score quite well and they're loved with JRPG fans. From looking at it, I thought this game looked gorgeous for a Nintendo DS game. But what I want to know is, if you have played Dragon Quest VI, did it deserve the 7 out of 10? You know what to do. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. The game was originally released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and it's also available on PC. Now in this, Lightning has been summoned to save the souls of the world before the world is destroyed in 13 days. Now out of the 3 Final Fantasies, this has what I believe the most refined combat system within it, where you'll be switching between different costumes which will give you different powers in battle. Now, out of all the games mentioned on this list so far, I believe that most people will probably agree with this 7 out of 10. Myself personally, no, I actually really enjoy Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I love the direction it went, where you could explore different areas and take the tasks that you want to do. There was also a sense of urgency as well, because this had a timer on the game. That reminds me, I should really pick this one up on Steam Deck. Tales of the Abyss, which was originally released on the PlayStation 2 and then later ported to the Nintendo 3DS. Now, bear in mind that with this entry, it's focusing purely on the Nintendo 3DS version. Now, in this fan favourite Tales of game, we follow our protagonist Luke, who is out to regain his memories in the world. Now, as you would expect from any Tales game, yes, the linear motion battle system is here. Now, the 7 out of 10 verdict from IGN was quite funny in my eyes, so let's have a look at what it says. So it says here, verdict: it's impressive that Namco Bandai has managed to port a full-sized voice-acted JRPG to the 3DS without sacrificing any of the content from the PS2 version. But it's also a 6-year-old game that hasn't aged well in all respects, and if you're a North American Tales fan, it's likely to be one you've played before. Like all the Tales games, this is a charmer, but it probably won't be long before it's outdone by a game that's actually been made for the platform. I mean, for myself, who's actually based in the UK, we didn't really get this on the PlayStation 2 from my understanding, so this was kind of the first way you could play this Tales title, which was on the Nintendo 3DS. Giving it a 7 out of 10 because of that's a bit of a strange one. I thought you'd be focusing on the actual game itself. Now, from my time of playing Tales of the Abyss, it is fantastic, and it is no wonder that this is a fan favourite amongst the Tales of fans. Do you agree with this 7 out of 10? I mean, I don't know if a lot of people will, but you know what to do. Octopath Traveler 2, which was released on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch and PC. I mean, 7 out of 10? Really? I mean, I've not played Octopath Traveler 2, I've played Octopath Traveler, and it definitely doesn't deserve 7 out of 10. I mean, yeah, I don't even need to say anything more about this. Come on, 7 out of 10 for Octopath Traveler 2. Get real. Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was released for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this Pokemon game is a prequel to Diamond and Sapphire. And in this, we will be creating the first ever Pokédex in an open world environment. Now, this has a mixture of action and turn-based combat. And the fun thing with this is you will be capturing Pokemon out in the wild in a brand new way. Because in the previous Pokemons, you'd have to go into battle before you capture them. In this, you could sneak up behind them, throw that Pokeball, and capture them. So a 7 out of 10 for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Do I think this is fair? I mean, I can understand why I got it. They had gripes with the likes of the open world nature and the tedious gameplay in their words. Now, for me, this actually was one of my favourite games that I played in 2022. I really thought that this Pokemon game was a step in the right direction. This is one of the Pokemon games which got me back into Pokemon, and you know what, before playing this one, the last Pokemon game I really played was Pokemon Red and Yellow. Look, I can understand why someone might give this a 7 out of 10. In my eyes, it doesn't, but you know what, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But nice segue, what is your opinion of Pokemon Legends Arceus? Ah, no, that was poor, wasn't it?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which was released on the PlayStation 4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and for PC. Now in this, we follow a brand new protagonist in the Yakuza series known as Ichiban. Now with this, Ichiban is looking to find out why he was betrayed because he did time in jail for his Yakuza clan. This game also saw turn-based combat introduced to the Yakuza series as well. Now with every Yakuza game, this will be full to the brim of minigames, charm and fun. Now when I saw the 7 out of 10 from IGN on this JRPG, I was kind of taken aback by it because this game is just awesome in every single way. This JRPG ended up on so many Game of the Year videos on YouTube. Content creators always praise this game as well. And Sega did something different where they took an already familiar formula with Yakuza and turned its head upside down and introduced turn-based combat. And it was so successful that they brought out a sequel known as Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth where they kept the turn-based combat. Honestly, in my eyes, this is a 10 out of 10 JRPG. I had so much fun playing as Ichiban, and the fact that Sega took a risk and it paid off, it was just fantastic. If you haven't played Yakuza Like a Dragon, I must implore you to play this game. It is so damn good. So there we have it, 10 of the best 7 out of 10 JRPGs. According to IGN. Have I missed any out which I should have looked at? You know what to do, leave a comment down below. Now if you like hearing what you're seeing on this channel, well please help me grow it by liking, sharing and subscribing. And if you want to be kept up to date with everything Chicken Fillets, you know what to do, hit that notification bell. This has been John, aka Chicken Fillets, and until next time, tatty bye.